How's it going, everyone? Mega Mashers here, and in this video, we are going to be reviewing Diancie. Now, I would just like to say that unofficially, I'm going to say that Diancie, along with Volcanion and Hoopa, are going to be called the event trio of Generation 6. So with that being said, let's get right into this video by first analyzing this cute, mysterious, and very scary strong Pokemon. So just get a good look. I told you she was beautiful. Even though Diancie technically doesn't have a gender, I mean, come on. By the way it looks, I think we can establish the fact that it looks pretty feminine. So anyways, all that aside, the typing that it gets, Rock and Fairy. Now, while I will say that the immunity to Dragon is nice, and you have some pretty awesome resistances, that being to Normal, Flying, Bug, Fire, and Dark, here's the thing. You have a weakness to ground, water, and grass, and you have a 4 times weakness to steel. That means Bullet Punch is going to snipe your ass out. That's not good. That's really, really not good, so you really need to be careful with that. But that's okay, because if you are a very solid battler and know how to build teams around Pokemon, if you build a team around Diancie, I think you'll do alright. So as for the ability, it gets Clear Body. Now, Clear Body is a pretty decent ability because what this does is it negates any of your stats from being lowered by your opponent's moves. So say if an opponent was to use Scary Face, which drops your speed by 2 stages, Clear Body negates that, so the stat drop is not going to happen. Let's take a look at the stats here. These stats are quite interesting. So its HP is pretty shitty at base 50. The attack and special attack are both at base 100, which is pretty decent. The defense and special defense are both at 150. Holy shit. Kind of reminds me of Carbink, which also reminds me, like a fucking nut job, I forgot to do a Pokemon review video for Carbink. But fear not, because now that I remembered, I shall be doing this very, very soon. Now let's take a look at the speed. Speed is base 50. That is also not good because this thing is going to be outsped by a ton of crap. But this thing does get Rock Polish, which if you use on an offensive set, then you'll be able to outspeed your opponents and add the wow factor because there's not very many Pokemon or opponents that will expect a regular Diancie with Rock Polish. So with all of that being said, how about we move on to the first set? So the first set that I would like to introduce you to is going to make Diancie a supportive Pokemon, and this Pokemon can be quite effective when used under the right circumstances and under the right conditions of support from the rest of your team. So the item for choice for Diancie is going to be Leftovers to allow you to have passive recovery at the end of each turn. The ability is going to be Clear Body because that's the only ability it has, and that is by no stretch of the imagination a bad thing. Clear Body is actually a very good ability. As for the EV spread, 248 is going to go into its HP, 252 into its defense, and 8 into special defense, and will go with an Impish nature to further boost your physical defense. Now, the reason why we're not going to really worry about running any speed in this situation is because with base 50 speed, you're really not going to be expecting to outpace like anything anytime soon. So, speed in this situation, really not a big deal. So the first move that we'll be using is known as Stealth Rock. And what Stealth Rock does is it lays an entry hazard on the field, and what this does is it damages Pokemon that switch in according to their typing. So if it's a Pokemon that is weak to Rock-type moves, then Stealth Rocks will cause them 25% damage. Now, I will say that if they are 4 times weak to Rocks, then Stealth Rock is going to take away half of their health. That means Talonflame and Volcarona are going to have a very hard time switching in. The next move that we'll be using is Diancie's signature move known as Diamond Storm. And Diamond Storm, what this does is it has a 50% chance of increasing your physical defense by 1 stage. And since how we're going all out physically defensive, if you get a physical defense boost from Diamond Storm, you're going to be incredibly difficult to take down. And I also want to mention that this set right here is the ultimate bird spam check. That means that Pokemon like Talonflame are going to be shitting their drawers when they get a Diamond Storm right to the face. So the next move slot, it's really up to you on what you're looking for here. We have the choice of Heal Bell and Protect. And the reason why we have Heal Bell is what this does is it further allows for Diancie to be a supportive Pokemon by healing you or any of your teammates of any status afflictions. That means no more burn, no more toxic, no more paralysis, no more sleep, no more anything. That's pretty awesome. And then we have Protect to allow you to stall out for a turn of leftovers recovery and also be a great scout and see what your opponent is going to do next. Now, the last move slot, we have Toxic and Heal Bell. Now, I have Heal Bell there twice because if for whatever reason the first move slot you do not choose Heal Bell, then in this last move slot you will need to choose Heal Bell. So we have Toxic to allow you to cripple walls and put them on a timer, and this goes very well with Protect. You got that classic, very, very classic and effective Toxic Protect Stall combo with leftovers recovery. But if that doesn't appeal to you, you can either go with the combo of Heal Bell and Toxic, Protect and Heal Bell, or Toxic and Protect. It's really up to you and what you want. Either way, this Pokemon and this set will not let you down if you use it correctly. So the next move set that I have for you is going to seriously mess with your opponent's head because nobody ever expects this. A Trick Room Diancie. And I gotta say that Diancie is very capable of being a Trick Room Pokemon because of the fact that it has a very low base 50 speed. And if you use a speed lowering nature and you have a 0 speed IV, you are going to be incredibly slow. But with what Trick Room does is it makes slower Pokemon attack first for 5 turns. And this is what will turn the tide in battle. And I highly recommend that this set right here should not be used unless it's sort of like a last resort thing. Like if Diancie is one of your last Pokemon in battle, then that's when you pull out Diancie, you pull out that trump card, and you completely screw with your opponents by semi-crippling them speed-wise thanks to Trick Room, and then proceed to cause as much damage as possible with your moves. So the item for choice for Diancie is going to be Life Orb to allow you to have a 30% power boost to your moves at the cost of 10% of your health. The ability is going to be Clear Body once again. As for the EV spread, 248 is going to go into its HP, 252 into its attack, and 8 into defense, and will go with a Brave Nature to lower your speed and increase your attack. And I again reiterate, you need to have a 0 speed IV for this Trick Room set to work to the absolute fullest. So the first move that we have is Stealth Rocks. Stealth Rocks allows for you to lay a entry hazard on your opponent's side of the field, and what this does is it damages your opponent's Pokemon that switch in according to their type. So if it's a Pokemon that resists rock type moves, Stealth Rock's not going to be doing that much damage, but if it's a Pokemon that's weak to rock type moves, Stealth Rock is going to be doing quite a bit of damage. The next move that we have is Trick Room, and Trick Room, as I just explained, what this does is it reverses the speed of you and your opponents, where normally your opponents would outspeed you, but with Trick Room in effect, it allows for slower Pokemon to attack first. And this is where everything starts to come together, because now your opponents are not going to be able to abuse their speed advantage anymore. Now you are going to be able to abuse your low speed and turn that into an advantage against them. The next move that we have is going to be Diamond Storm, and Diamond Storm with the Life Orb boost and with the amount of power that it has, it's basically a better version of Stone Edge. It has 100 base power with a 95 base accuracy. That means this move is rarely going to miss. Not to mention, this move also has a 50% chance of increasing your physical defense by 1 stage. But if that isn't enough, if you want to completely annihilate your opponents after Diancie has outlived its usefulness, we have Explosion. Explosion kills you off, but this move packs an astonishing 250 base power, and it's a normal type move. So really the only Pokemon that could shrug this off would be Rock, Steel, and Ghost types. So you must be wary of that. But overall, this set definitely will add the wow factor in battle because your opponents will not expect this to happen. So this next move set that I have for you sort of has that Verlisify-esque kind of presence to it. This is what I would love to call a mono setup set that just does not die. And shout out to Verlisify, by the way. But anyways, it goes like this. The item for choice for Diancie, it's really up to you on what you want. You can either go with Leftovers for passive recovery / consistency, or you can go with Chesto Berry to allow you to awaken from rest right away. That way you are fully healed up and good to go for round 2. The ability that we'll be using is Clear Body, because that's the only ability that it has. And as for the EV spread, 252 is going to go into its HP, 100 into defense, and 156 into special defense, and we'll go with the Calm Nature. Now, the reason for this spread is because of the fact that one of its moves, Calm Mind, it boosts the special attack and special defense by 1 stage. But if you're looking to be a defensive wall, you got Iron Defense, which boosts your physical defense by 2 stages. And this is where the significance of the special bulk comes into play. We have more investment in the special bulk, and with a special defense boosting nature with Calm, you're going to want to be able to take special hits more comfortably right off the bat due to the fact that Calm Mind doesn't boost your special defense up quite as fast as Iron Defense does for the physical defense. So we don't really need to worry so much about investing a ton in your physical defense, but we have 100 EVs there just to kind of give you some all-around good bulk on the physical and the special side on the defenses. So the first move that we have is Moonblast, and Moonblast is going to be your only attacking move, but Moonblast hurts like a bitch because not only is it stab, it's base 95 power, but it also has a nifty 30% chance of lowering your opponent's special attack by 1 stage. And something else that's really good about Moonblast, there's no Pokemon that is immune to Fairy-type moves. So this right here will always be able to cause damage no matter what. The next move that we have is Calm Mind. And what Calm Mind does, as I said earlier, is it boosts the special attack and special defense of your Pokemon by 1 stage. So after a couple of Calm Mind boosts, you're going to be quite up there, not just with the special attack, but the special defense too, making you incredibly difficult to take down one-on-one. The next move that we have is a move that Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire's move tutors have granted it, Iron Defense. Iron Defense is a solid-ass move as it allows for you to boost your physical defense by 2 stages. That means after only 3 turns of Iron Defense, you have maxed out physical defense, making you impossible to take down, unless of course you are a Steel-type Pokemon with a ton of power and you somehow manage to break through all those stat boosts with the 4 times weakness that Diancie has to Steel-type moves. And lastly, we have Rest. Now this is where the Chesto Berry comes into play. Chesto Berry will awaken you from rest after you use it, rather than being put to sleep for 2 turns and being rendered incapable of attacking. But if you don't worry about something like that, Leftovers provides consistent recovery at the end of each turn. Even if it's just by a little bit, it's still significant enough for it to be deemed worthy a very solid item choice. So that's basically all I have to say about this set. I hope you guys like this. So with this move set that I have here for you guys is going to make Diancie a very, very threatening Pokemon that will sweep you, of course, under the right circumstances, of course. Now, the item of choice for Diancie is really up to you. We have Life Orb to give you immediate power to your moves by a 30% boost at the cost of 10% of your health, or we have Weakness Policy, and this is where these circumstances come into play. What Weakness Policy does is if you get hit by a move that is super effective against you, and you happen to live it, Weakness Policy activates, and it boosts your attack and special attack by 2 stages. That is wicked. The ability that we'll be using, once again, is going to be Clear Body. And as for the EV spread, 4 is going to go into its attack, 252 into its special attack, and 252 into its speed. And we'll go with the Naive nature to lower your special defense and increase your speed. Now, the reason I chose Naive over Hasty is because you are going to want to have as much natural physical defense as possible. That way, you will be able to more likely than not survive physical attacks and priority moves such as Mach Punch, Aqua Jet, Ice Shard, and hopefully Bullet Punch. But this thing is 4 times weak to Bullet Punch. But if it somehow manages to live it, Weakness Policy activates, game over. So the first move that we'll be using is Diamond Storm. Diamond Storm is very solid, not only because it's stab, but the added benefit of having a 50% chance of boosting your physical defense by 1 stage, but also gives the ultimate fuck you to the likes of Talonflame, Charizard Y, and Volcarona, all of which are 4 times weak to Rock-type moves, and Diamond Storm is a Rock-type move. It's a more better and improved version of Stone Edge. The next move that we have is Moonblast. Moonblast is just absolutely solid on Diancie. It is stab, it's a very powerful special move, and I also forgot to mention that this is also a specially based mixed set. So that means that this thing is going to be very hard to wall under the right circumstances. Anyways, getting back to the explanation of the move set. The next move that we have is Earth Power. Earth Power is an absolute godsend for Diancie due to the fact that Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire move tutors have gifted Diancie with Earth Power. And you throw in the fact that Ground-type moves with Fairy and Rock-type moves combined makes it nearly impossible for you to be completely walled out. The only Pokemon that could really wall you out, stab for stab, would be a Levitate Bronzong. But there are ways of dealing with that Pokemon. And lastly, we have Rock Polish. Rock Polish is so awesome. This boosts your speed by 2 stages, and with a Naive nature and maximum speed investment, you're going to be hitting well over 430 speed. And you couple that with a possible Weakness Policy activation, where your attack and special attack gets boosted by 2 stages, you're going to have +2 boosts in your attack, special attack, and speed. That is nuts. That is absolutely nuts. And this Pokemon will be able to sweep teams, unless, of course, it gets taken out by Priority Bullet Punch, which I hope to God that doesn't happen. Otherwise, this completely ruins this set and this Pokemon. Okay, wait a minute. Diancie has a Mega Evolution? No fucking way. Diancie? Mega Diancie? Holy shit, man. Mega Diancie's got to be one of the most beautiful Pokemon I've ever seen. So, the typing that it gets is Rock and Fairy, which is the same as regular Diancie. However, the ability changes from Clear Body to Magic Bounce. Magic Bounce is one of the ultimate troll moves, because what this does is it reflects any non-attacking moves, such as any statuses, entry hazards, leech seed, whatever. It reflects those moves right back at the opponent and affects them with it. That right there is absolutely hilarious. Now, let's just take a look at the stats here. Its HP hasn't changed, it's at base 50, but the attack and special... What the fuck?! Base 160 for both attack and special attack? Oh my god! Are you kidding me? And that speed is 110? Oh my... I am done! I'm done with this shit! Fuck! That is way too broken for this. Okay, I need to chill the fuck out. But man, that is just absolutely crazy. You got base 160 attack and 160 special attack with 110 speed, access to Rock Polish, access to Calm Mind, having mixed offenses that just make you nearly impossible to switch into safely. Come on. I mean, Landorus Incarnate was recently banned because of it being a very potent and effective mixed attacker. This right here is a little bit of a stretch, but I am willing to bet that in the not too distant future, Smogon is going to suspect test Mega Diancie. That's just my opinion. Please do not shoot me down for this. This is strictly my opinion, and I respect the opinions and thoughts of everyone watching. But anyways, so the HP hasn't changed. It's base 50. The attack and special attack are base 160 apiece. The defense and special defense, however, they do take a significant hit. They go from base 150 to base 110. And base 110 defenses still are not that bad, but your bulk is significantly reduced. And with the pairing of an abysmal base 50 HP, it kind of dwarfs your effectiveness for the base 110 defenses. Even though they look good numerically, that base 50 HP, not looking too good, man. So anyways, with that being said, I'm about to introduce you guys to one of the most fucking powerful sets that not just this Pokemon runs, but any Pokemon aside from Diancie would absolutely die to have. So here it is, guys. One of the most lethal sets from one of the most lethal Pokemon in history. This right here is a very potent mixed attacker that is just so difficult to switch into safely. It takes a lot of prediction and a lot of skill. So the item for choice for Diancie is going to be its Mega Stone, the Diancite, to allow it to achieve Mega Evolution in battle. And the ability that comes along with the Mega Evolution is going to be Magic Bounce. Magic Bounce, like I said, is one of the best abilities ever. As for the EV spread, 80 is going to go into its attack, 252 into its special attack, and 176 into its speed, and will go with the hasty nature to further boost your speed and lower your defense. Now the reason for this is so that you will be able to get the outspeed on positive speed nature base 100 speed Pokemon. But it's not going to matter. After one Rock Polish, you're going to be outspeeding a ton of shit. So the first move that we have is going to be Diamond Storm. Diamond Storm, being Diancie's signature move, hits like a truck. And you couple that with the coverage from Moonblast and Earth Power, oh my god. That is just going to be absurd and very hard to tank without having anything to worry about. Not to mention, Diamond Storm has a 50% chance of increasing your physical defense by one stage. Up next, on the special side, we have Moonblast. Moonblast with stab with maximum special attack investment is going to hit like a truck. That means Dragon types gone, Dark types gone, Fighting types gone. Wow. And then, if that wasn't crazy enough, we get Earth Power. Earth Power allows for you to destroy Steel type Pokemon, which would otherwise cause problems for the set in general. Earth Power, hitting from a base 160 special attack with maximum investment, is not going to be a laughing matter, because Pokemon like Heatran is going to die. And lastly, we got Rock Polish. And with 176 speed EVs at level 100, after a Rock Polish, you hit 660 speed. That means pretty much nothing is going to outspeed you anytime soon. That is crazy. And that's really all I have to say about this crazy set, because it's filled with crazy, and it's making me go crazy. So the last set that I have for you is going to be an all-out special attacking set that just absolutely rips face. So the item for choice for Diancie is once again going to be its Mega Stone, the Diancite, to allow you to achieve Mega Evolution in battle. The ability that comes along with the Mega Evolution is going to be Magic Bounce. As for the EV spread, 4 is going to go into its defense, 252 into its special attack, and 252 into its speed, and we'll be going with the Timid nature to further boost your speed. And you want to have maximum speed in this situation, considering that we have no way of boosting your speed in this set. The first move that we'll be using is Calm Mind to allow you to boost your special attack and special defense by one stage. We have Moonblast for Fairy type stab that hits very hard. We have Earth Power for ground type coverage, and also allows for you to destroy Steel-type Pokemon, especially the likes of Heatran. And lastly, we have Ancient Power. Now hold up a second, I know what y'all thinking. Ancient Power, base 60 power, Rock-type move on the special side. Only has 5 power points, 8 if you max out. I get it. Its power is kind of bad in comparison to the likes of Stone Edge or Diamond Storm. But get this, Ancient Power has a 10% chance of increasing all of your stats by 1 stage. So that right there is kind of a bonus. Plus, this is a special attack, and it's stab, and it's rock type, and also gives the ultimate fuck you to the likes of Mega Charizard Y, Talonflame, Volcarona, and many, many others. That's really all I have to say about this set. It's pretty self-explanatory and pretty straightforward. I've never actually tried this set before. I've heavily preferred the mixed attacking set because I felt like that set was just that much better. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video that had a mixture of things, from education to raging to also a slight hint of forgetfulness, considering the fact that upon reviewing Diancie, I completely forgot, like a dipshit, to review Carbink way the fuck back when. So anyways, with that being said, if you enjoyed this video, then please feel free to leave a like and even share this video to all of your friends who are into Pokemon, as this will greatly benefit the channel and the rest of its contents. And if you want to see more videos like the one that you just saw, then hit that subscribe button and join the Mega Express today to become a valued passenger on this wild and exciting ride through the Pokemon world. Also, be sure to leave me your feedback in the comments section down below about this video. Tell me what you liked about it. Tell me what you didn't like about it. Tell me if there's something that I missed. And finally, do not ever hesitate to leave your requests in the comment section of any video down below, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. Finally, be sure to check out Poketown, Cat's Epic Pokemon Cloning Group, Pokemon Central, and last, but certainly not the least, Pokemon Destination Valley, all of which are very great groups that I'll leave links to in the description box down below. Have a good one. I shall see you guys next upload. I'm hungry.